Searching for innovation opportunities. Push creates opportunities, but it doesn't necessarily create value. That's a theme we're going to come back to again and again. And remember, innovation is creating value from ideas. So basically, if we're going to make a success, we probably, even though we do knowledge push innovation, need to consider the user side in all of this. So let's flip our lens now and look at demand pull. And the key phrase here is necessity is the mother of invention. What we're trying to do is use the needs, market or social, to pull the innovations through. Here's a simple example. This gentleman sees a need for transportation in the city. There are buses and you could always walk, but he sees an opportunity meeting that need by modifying his motorbike. It's a simple example of need-pull innovation. Needs, of course, don't always have to be commercial market needs. They could also be social needs. And of course, we're not just talking about physical products, we're talking about services and indeed processes. If you think about a factory, any machine that needs improvement to make it work better or more reliably, it's an opportunity for need-pull innovation. And again, we've got our same spectrum, exploit and explore, from doing what we could do better right the way through to something completely different. Searching for innovation opportunities, need-pull along that spectrum. Again, some illustrations. Our good friend Zara. We've already looked at Zara. Zara, a very successful fashion retailer. Now, Zara as a business is essentially all about listening to and understanding user needs, helping to shape them, doing a great deal of design work, which, as we'll see later, involves getting close to users and really helping them articulate their needs. But Zara's particularly successful model is one of fast fashion, where they're able to pick up those needs, translate them and turn them around to products that meet those needs in a very short space of time. Their cycle is around 6 weeks, but it's essentially a finely tuned global operation based on user needs. Procter & Gamble, a much older company, but basically the same thing, anticipating and working with needs that consumers have in their day-to-day lives, for cleaning, for washing, for sanitary things, for toothpaste, all sorts of needs that we have, and then working very closely with a big R&D organization to create the kinds of products that people need. Another example, perhaps less well known, this is a company called Churchill Potteries. Began life in the Industrial Revolution in the middle of England, and Churchill Pottery is essentially producing beautiful china. And that china does not simply appear because we can or as a result of knowledge push into new ceramic technologies. It's very much about what do people need. It responds to fashion, to changing habits, to different lifestyles. Essentially, it's linked to needs. We've already seen the Aravind eye system. Essentially, there the need is social. People going blind because they have cataracts, which if untreated will make them blind, but they can't afford the expensive healthcare. So the user need there, the social need, how to deliver safe, reliable, low-cost healthcare. Need-pull innovation. Another example, again in the social sphere, these boys drinking water, dirty water that would kill them, but through a straw, the life straw, which with its clever filter allows them to drink up clean water. Essentially what's going on here, again, is about social need pulling innovation. And as with push innovation, of course, there are limitations. Not everything about pull innovation is a successful source. We need to bear in mind some challenges. In particular, it's always going to be catching up to the frontier. It's always meeting needs, getting closer and closer to meeting needs, and as a result, the closer we get, we very often have diminishing returns. Perhaps more significant, we are no longer leading the market. By definition, we're following it. We're trying to meet what it says it needs. And that could lead us into what I'd call the faster horses problem. Faster horses? It's a famous quotation from Henry Ford. If I'd asked people what they wanted, they would have told me faster horses. Sometimes people can't anticipate what they need. They can't imagine it. It's too far from their experience. Something that Steve Jobs very much appreciated in his thinking around the personal computer and later on the smartphone and other handheld devices. Again, beyond the focus group, beyond asking people what they need, to leading what they need. And I think you can see here you're beginning to get push as well as pull coming into the equation. So let's try and summarize where we've been in this overview of sources of innovation. First of all, there are many different sources of innovation, so we need to be very careful that we search as widely as possible to find the opportunities. Broadly, there are two classes of innovation: knowledge push, where the creation of new knowledge opens up opportunities, and demand or need pull, where needs pull through particular innovations. Both of them are important, and innovation often arises not just because of one, but as a result of them working together. Pull and push. It's a little bit like the blades of a pair of scissors. You can cut with one, but it's a far more effective mechanism if you use them both working together.